Aaron Rodgers, should he run it back or retire?
What do you think, Ross? Run it back, baby! Well, I'll tell you what. Listen, I was contractually obligated last year to watch every Jet snap.
Yep.
And to me, it wasn't Aaron Rodgers that was done. It was Tyron Smith that was done. The damage that happened to Aaron Rodgers in the first 4 games made him a shell of himself. When Olu Fashanu came in, we saw glimpses of the Aaron Rodgers right there. Glimpses of the old Aaron Rodgers of old once he felt like his blind side was protected.
So let's talk about the exact numbers that Rodgers put up. All right, Cindy, so for what it's worth, there's been so much talk about Rodgers, and almost none of it is about football. And I completely understand that because
I like this chart.
He talks about and does so many things that have nothing to do with football. The reality is these are the numbers that he put up last year, and those are the numbers Patrick Mahomes put up last year.
So before
before anyone says that we're suggesting Aaron Rodgers is better than Patrick Mahomes, which of course we're doing no such thing, we are merely saying that if the entire conversation about Aaron Rodgers was a football conversation, it would be a pretty easy discussion. He's certainly good enough to play for someone in the NFL. The point, Graziano, is that it is not a football conversation when it comes to Aaron, or at least it is much more than just a football conversation.
It doesn't have to be. Look, he's 41 years old. His first season with the Jets, he missed it due to injury. His second season, he fought through some injuries and put up some, average number. I mean, like the 48 QBR is average. No, like QBR, 0 to 100, 50 is average. His was 48. So a tick below average in terms of that metric. So you're getting a guy who's 41. You don't know what his health is going to be like. His performance, you put up the total numbers, but Bart was contractually obligated to watch every snap. It wasn't consistent week to week, right?
Right.
And that's the issue when you have an older player. That's going to happen. So if you bring in Aaron Rodgers, you have to know what you're getting. Mm-hmm. You have to feel really good about your backup quarterback situation, right? You have to feel really good about the rest of your roster, which the Jets maybe mistakenly did when they brought Aaron Rodgers in. So it has to be, I think, the exact right situation, and I don't think that's really even saying anything negative about Rodgers at this point in his career.
So I said this a week and a half ago before I left on vacation, that in New Orleans, the rumor mill was abuzz with the following. Again, I'm not reporting it. I can't help but notice that other people seem to be now just hearing about it. I said this 2 weeks ago, that the rumor, every single person you talked to in New Orleans, Tim, said that if Matt Stafford goes to the Giants, Aaron Rodgers goes to the Rams. That was the rumor I was hearing hot and heavy in New Orleans. I'm not telling you what's going to happen, but I'm asking you if it makes sense. If Stafford, we opened the show by talking about Stafford possibly leaving. If Stafford winds up out of L.A., does Rodgers make sense to you there, Tim?
He could. It wouldn't be my first choice because I think you're getting worse. You're getting older. You're getting less mobile. And so, like, if your starting point is Stafford, you're getting worse at the position by moving to Rodgers at this point. And so that's why I think that Rodgers ends up being a low priority free agent, meaning when the dust settles, the musical chairs game is over at quarterback, the draft is come and gone, what are the spots where Rodgers goes in and that organization sees him as a benefit to their 2025 season? I mean, I think that's where Rodgers is at this point. I don't think it's the Rams are looking at it and saying, you know what? Like, we feel good about that to go to Aaron Rodgers at this point. Like, I don't think that's what it is. Look, when you consider age, injury history, and the fact that he just really can't move anymore.
That's a long way off, right, Bart? I mean, the draft is a really, really long way off.
It is.
But it's tough for us to have that narrative about Aaron Rodgers and not have the same narrative about Kirk Cousins, because I think he played better coming off of the Achilles injury than Kirk Cousins did. So if Kirk Cousins is going to be in the conversation, whether it's going to Cleveland, maybe going down and reuniting with some of the coordinators that he had, then I think Aaron Rodgers should still be in it. I did see a mobile Aaron Rodgers, especially in the New England game and in certain games. So I think that we have to consider maybe it was the fact that the Jets were dysfunctional. Not, something that
they rewrote. I mean, dysfunctional doesn't begin to tell the story of what they were from a coaching perspective last year. Final thought.
I think the Rams are a very interesting possibility for Aaron Rodgers if they break up with Matthew Stafford. I think it would have some appeal to Aaron, and I think it would have some appeal to Sean McVay and the Rams.
Okay, well, let's leave it there for the moment. We'll see if that winds up happening. We'll keep a close eye on it.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.